here, what can I do for you? Send me and put me back in one simple rule. Put me on the 1 foot line and give me 2 minutes to go, and give me all 3 of my timeouts, and give me my boys. And then let me hear my name over the loudspeaker. Let me hear the roar of the crowd. BRADSHAW, BRADSHAW. Let me have them booing on one side. Let me get in and call plays, see the eyes roll as I call these plays, and talk to them. Let me feel the hair on my back crawl up. I mean, that's what the Super Bowl does to you. I mean, it's doing right now to me. I mean, I can go out right now and play. I know I can play 2 minutes.
For a full 12 months a year, the 28 teams of the National Football League prepare for one day in January, Super Bowl Sunday.
It's called a pigskin, but there is absolutely nothing in a football that would offend a pig, is there?
No, the ball is pigskin. Actually, many years ago, a pig bladder held the air in the football. I think that's why it's pigskin, because the ball has always been pigskin.
I used to run through airports. Now I fly through them. With new Hertz #1 Express service, I fly non-stop from my plane to my car. Once again, Hertz puts you in the driver's seat faster than anybody else.
On January 15th, 1967, the Kansas City Chiefs and Green Bay Packers met in the very first AFL-NFL championship game.
If we had any psychological advantage, we couldn't do any talking. We have to be quiet. And here's Fred expounding on what he was and was going to do to the Packers, and how he was going to level them.
The man known as the Hammer had boasted all week that he would come down on Green Bay receivers Carroll Dale and Boyd Dalton.
And I hit him with everything that I had, and they took him off the field because the shoulder was no longer normal.
I've been pretty aware of the fact that Coach Lombardi was thinking very, very seriously about retirement. And while many of us cuss him or call him names or a number of things, it's something like you might do with your family. You can call your brother something, but don't let anybody else call him the same thing. It's the same way with Mr. Lombardi. We can cuss him, but don't let anybody else holler at him. And we all felt that this was going to be his last game.
Joe's coach, Weeb Eubank, had gone to great lengths to avoid controversy. He wasn't entirely successful.
Well, the thing that I thought happened in Super Bowl III, that Weeb handled it great. He took us down there 3 days early, turned the players loose, no bed check. Then we started our week preparation for the team, and he brought the wives in. They roomed with their wives. Well, there was one thing that Weeb Eubank had drummed into her head. He says, whatever you do, don't open your mouth. Don't say anything that might incite these guys. Well, what does Namath do? He makes some remark that there were facts in the AFL that were better than Earl Morrall. And, you know, we're all saying, Joe, we have to block these people. You don't.
Joe was saying how they were going to kick the butts of the Colts, and Lou Michaels said not only were the Colts going to kick the Jets' butts, but he would personally that night do the same thing to Joe.
Well, I could have shot him. And when Joe came out, our people got angry. And I thought, well, this is just what we need.
Shula had to call off the dogs. We were beating each other to death.
And we went in there knowing that these guys couldn't beat us. On their best day and our worst, they couldn't beat us. Well, it turned out on our worst day and their best, they could beat us.
Coach Shula said our objective is not to look back at what happened at the Super Bowl, but to now go forward and strive for perfection. I don't know how many other people in that locker room or in that meeting room that day remember him saying that,
but that was a forecast of what was, he was actually predicting the future. In 6'6" and flowing hair, standing amidst the masses and throwing the winning touchdown. Unfortunately, Garrow's dream didn't come true quite that way.
Watch O.J. Simpson, #1 halfback, demonstrate a really close shave.
I'll shave one side with the leading double-edged blade. The other side with the Schick Flexomatic. Now let's see if my wife could feel any difference.
I can't tell. Both sides feel the same.
You ought to switch to the Schick Flexomatic, the electric that feels blade close.
Even in his 16th and final season, Joe Montana still could make it look, oh, so easy.
I ain't bull. We've opened the door. We're going to go through it next week, and we're going to play terrible.
Look at him. He's just sort of a frail, skinny-looking guy.
He's a little boy. I mean, he's like he's playing in the playground when you see him on the field. He's having fun playing.
It all looks so easy.
He certainly had very strong leadership qualities off the football field. Come on, Roy, quit laughing, man. Quit laughing. The broads that he brought in. The broads that he brought in, that's the name of the game. You do your job on the field, and if you're bad on the field, and you be bad off the field with the chicks, all right?
He is really the Joker. For he was a man of 1,000 faces and just as many personalities. A player who was a blend of the wonderful and the real.
Very strange human. Very strange. Ted Hendricks was a big old 6'8", 205-pound stork. He looked like a stork.
Absolutely desperate. A desperate man. Willing to give anything up to get a win.
All you had to do is look at CSONKA and you got that feeling because this was a powerful man.
You get this real determined pace. The pace would turn into a stride. He'd go back and forth. And he'd walk by you, his eyes would just open up. You just look at you and you go, we're going to do it today, right? Let's go get him some. Come on, play great, play great. And then you keep going.
It's obvious it's going to come down to a direct physical confrontation. I always thought it reflected a higher degree of intelligence to do the inflicting first.
No defense has dominated pro football like the Pittsburgh Steelers defense of the 1970s.
Without question, was a catalyst.
This is a guy who utterly refuses to lose. He does not understand the concept of giving up. He does not understand the concept of defeat.
Watt plays so hard and with such fury that wide receivers cringe at the thought of trespassing into his territory.
You could sense him taking over the ball game.
We're very good friends off the field, and on Sunday, when that game starts, I won't have any use for him. I'm trying to tear his head off. The way you beat finesse is you just hammer, you intimidate him. And then for Harris to come over and beat him like that, see it all been built up all week long. That sent a message to him. We'll knock that star off your helmet, Jack. People felt that got us playing better, and maybe it did.
You know, growing up is tough. For kids to make it, they need a fighting chance, like the one I got at the Boys Clubs of America. Because growing up is still tough, and kids don't have a fighting chance without a good club.
I mean, I was the best receiver while we was there. Okay, so I left early, but while we was there, I had to be the best.
Without me, John, down the middle, you never would have got the ball. You never would have seen that deep 8 route. That slant route would have been eaten up because those linebackers would have jumped all over you. Without me in the middle, you were nothing.
I know I was motivated to try and be good, but how I was perceived, I think I like to be perceived as anything but a football player, and I don't know why.
When you got an opportunity to hit somebody and to really nail somebody, that was what the game was all about, and I just didn't want everybody else to have all that fun.
People never got the opportunity to really see the real John Jefferson because you never stayed in the block. You always wanted to go out for the pass.
Blocking was not in my contract, okay? If they wanted me to block, they would have paid me twice as much as they did.
Wait a minute. I remember when you came out of Missouri, I was the guy who taught you how to catch with one hand.
God, to lose one of these, can you imagine what that'd be like?
And he looked at me, and it was during one of those long TV timeouts they have in the Super Bowl, and he looked at me and he goes, "Hey, H." You know, that's what he calls me, Harris, H.
"Hey H, check it out." I go, "What?" And he goes, "Hey, look over there in that end zone." And I look there. And he goes, "Hey, there's John Candy." And I go, "John Candy?" And sure enough, John Candy's sitting there. And I look at him. I look at the clock, and there's 3 minutes to go in the game, the biggest game of the year.
Like a stork. This strange bird played for the Colts, Packers, and Raiders.
All of a sudden it dawns on you. This is a serious buck right here. This sucker bigger than I ever thought it was. And then the next thing hits your mind is, God, I'd hate to lose this. God, to lose one of these, can you imagine what that'd be like? That was always the greatest fear.
Like Bradshaw, San Francisco's Joe Montana displaying the brand of icy poise in this big game pressure cooker.
You get out there and that little sucker, he don't know what to do. Pitch, I hit him with a forearm a while ago, so he's out. He's out on his feet. Oh, yeah.
Before me, you were a slug in the sun. You are privy to a great becoming, and you recognize nothing. You are an ant in the afterbirth. It is your nature to do one thing correctly. Tremble. But fear is not what you owe me. You and the others. You owe me awe.
Guadalupe has 3 Super Bowl trophies. Join me, O.J. Simpson, to find out what makes him the best owner in the league. Sunday on NFL Live.